I feel like I'm rambling. Hey, my loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hello, welcome. Make sure you subscribe and click on that notification bell, down there somewhere so you can get notifications of my newest uploads. And if you're not new to my channel, just thank you for coming back and showing your girl some love. So in today's video, I wanted to talk more about education stuff since my channel kind of talks about education anyways. I wanted to talk about more so my educational journey, along with giving some of you guys some tips and some tricks and stuff to kind of just better assist with your journey of whatever degree path that you're pursuing. For me, as you guys know, I'm getting my master's degree in public health. I talked about it a little bit in my 20 Facts About Me video. So if you have not seen it, I will definitely have it up here somewhere so you can click on it, check it out. I'm working towards my master's degree in public health. And how did I really get into the field of public health? It's actually kind of funny because I did not start my college career wanting to do public health or wanting to be anything relating to public health. When I started getting my bachelor's degree, I wanted to be a veterinarian. That was my goal. I wanted to go to vet school and be a vet. And so, of course, I initially majored in biology, which I still stuck with, but I had a minor starting off with health science. And once I started to get into my health science courses, I was like, I kind of like this stuff. This stuff is pretty cool. And that's kind of how I got like a little bit of a change of heart as far as wanting to pursue more public health versus my traditional goal, which was veterinarian school. And I think for me with public health, it was so many different avenues that I could pursue in public health. Like you still can go to medical school with, a public health degree. You can go to PA school, which is physician assistants. You can go to nursing school. It's a lot of things. You can do health administration, you can do environmental, it's so many things, community outreach, health educators. It's just a plethora of things you could do in the field of public health that you may not necessarily get in other degree backgrounds. And that was why I decided to go ahead, double major with biology and health science. And there you have it. Before I graduated, I kind of got a taste of like the healthcare setting when I was a CNA. I was a CNA for 2.5 years, loved it. But then of course, I wanted to, get a real big girl job. And CNA for me was just not something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. It was a stepping stone for where I wanted to be and where I wanted to get to. What I do now, I'm pretty much like a case manager at my current job working for the state. And I interact with people a lot more often. I'm interacting with doctors and nurses and, of course, clients and things of that nature. And that's kind of more of my zhuzh, which also is why I kind of want to pursue nursing after I get my NPH. I kind of still want that clinical component. So I could just be a well-rounded individual in public health. Once I, of course, got, like I said, my bachelor's degree, why can't I talk? Jeez. Okay. At one point in time after undergrad, I was like, I wanted to get my NPH, but I was like, well, maybe I need to try to get into the field. Let me see if I can get into the field first with my bachelor's degree and see what I like. If it's something I want to pursue, then I can go ahead and pursue it. And I'm so glad, I'm so grateful that I waited. I know I have people that I graduated with in undergrad that jumped right into getting their master's. And that was something that they saw that was best for them. And kudos to them. I'm so glad that they did that. But for me, I wanted to wait and get into a public health related job first before I pursued my master's degree. And I'm so glad that I did that because now that I am getting my NPH, it's just so much easier as far as my coursework and like the different things that we talk about, and because I'm already experiencing everything that we're talking about in school already in my jobs. Like recently, one of my classes, I had to interview someone who was in a leadership role in public health. And where I work at, I'm around directors of respective programs and like program managers. Like I'm around a whole bunch of people that are in leadership type roles that relates to public health. So that was just super easy for me to ask someone, which I did have someone at my job that did interview for me. And I was so grateful that she did that, you know, what have you. But it's just other things too, like whenever we have discussion posts or we have different assignments, I'm able to have a better understanding about what, you know, my professor is asking or want us to dig more deep about and be more in depth about, because I'm already doing those things. I'm already applying those things now in my day-to-day job. Everything is pretty going hand in hand. And even now with the stuff that I'm learning in school, I can apply to my job as well. And I could be like, oh, it's like an aha moment, like, oh, well, that's how that works, that kind of thing. And I think another reason too with public health for me is that, like I said, it's so many avenues. So it's so much stuff that you could do in public health. And there's so many things that public health involves that you don't even technically even think about it being public health, but it is like just your water quality, like the type of water you're getting, like tap water, to like, you know, making sure your paint, it doesn't have lead in it, you know, or like asbestos or anything crazy, you know, to simply just making sure like these different plants, like, you know, here in Charleston, we have a paper plant, which stinks horrendously sometimes, you know, just making sure that that's being monitored and regulated, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it's just so many things, like I said, you don't really think about. Your restaurants, where you eat at, that's all public health. When you see like the little A+, you know, what have you, on the, on your different favorite restaurants, like that's public health. That's all being public health monitored. So like I said, it's just so many different things in public health that you don't even think about that's technically considered public health, and that's an avenue that you can pursue in public health. And I think another thing too with public health as well is that you don't necessarily have to have a degree in public health in order to be in public health. I know that's going to probably be a shocker, and I know probably people that are in public health are like, shh, don't tell people that. But no, like our director, like our regional director, he has an MBA, y'all. That's his master's degree. Like, he has a master's in business administration, and he is a director of our whole entire region. Don't have a lick of health science, public health, or anything in his like repertoire, but he's a business person and he knows how to manage the business aspect of it all. And that's his job to do. Like, where the position that he's in, he doesn't really need the health component because he has everyone else around him that, you know, covers that for him. Like, you know, we have a medical director who's a doctor. We have our nursing director who's obviously a nurse. You know, we have another doctor who does more with epidemiology. Like, so he's covered by a whole bunch of people who are already in the medical related profession, that he doesn't really need that. So I don't want people to think either that you have to have a degree in public health in order to be in public health. It kind of just determines on what you want to do in public health in order for you to make that route or reach that route. So actually, business administration is the new way to, like, business administration now is starting to be incorporated a lot more in public health as well. So if you are getting a business degree, or you're pursuing a business degree, or you already have a business degree and you want, you know, but you don't want to do the traditional business, accounting, finance, and HR type of stuff, like, there are opportunities available in public health for business administrators. Like, check it out. So, and like I said, that's something else that's really cool about public health, because you can have different backgrounds and still be a part of public health. Like, one thing that I recently learned about where I work at is that we have lawyers to look over contracts and things of that nature. As a lawyer, you don't need a public health degree to be a lawyer, but yeah, you can still work in the field of public health when it's dealing with contracts and different policies and things of that nature relating to the state that's still affiliated with public health. And like I said, for me, I didn't even realize that until recently. So that's another avenue too. Like if you're wanting to pursue law school, but you don't want to do like criminal law or like whatever law related stuff that you do. I'm not a lawyer, don't know none of that. But yeah, you can still pursue public health. I definitely, like I said, I am getting my master's in public health, but my concentration is epidemiology, and I'm into infectious diseases, y'all. That's my niche in public health. And basically infectious disease is exactly what it is. Diseases that are infectious, like diseases that people can contract through various modes of transmission, whether it be like sexual or whether it be skin to skin, whether it be like you coughing and you're putting out germs and that nature out, and people are inhaling those germs and now they have it. Like just stuff like that excites me. Like back when Ebola was a really big thing, I was in undergrad still at the time, but I was so excited. Like everybody else was so like, you know, freaking out about it, you know, and they didn't want to get it and all this kind of stuff. And I didn't have any issues or worry about that. Like I was intrigued about the fact of the matter that it's this disease that's like wreaking havoc among our whole entire population. And I want to know like why. Like that's the kind of things that I like, and that's the science mind of mine, is that I like to know why things are happening, what's making this happen, how is it changing, you know, the dynamic of the human body and things of that nature, and what can we do to stop it? Like those are the things that intrigue me, which is why I want to pursue epidemiology. I love viruses. Bacteria and stuff is cool and all, but viruses, y'all, I love viruses. Like, I know that sounds super crazy, and I know that sounds super weird, and you're like, Kia, you're nuts. But no, I love viruses. I think viruses are so unique. I think they're so different because they're not really a living organism, unlike a bacteria. But they can wreak so much havoc in the human body. I personally love viruses. That's something among infectious diseases that I like to focus more so on as I get further along in my career. As far as wanting to get back into school, definitely do it. Definitely keep an open mind, whether you're going back to school, like I said, for public health, or medical degree, you're getting a nursing degree, you're doing business, you're doing like, you know, health administration, you know, becoming a lawyer. Whatever the case may be, like definitely keep your options open, because public health is a growing field. It's a field that's pretty much always going to be around. As long as we have people, there's always going to be public health. That's pretty much why I pursue public health. It's why I like public health. It's why I'm going to continue on my career path in public health, is because it's just something that I'm truly passionate about, and it's something that I am going to start talking more about here on my channel. I would like for you guys to comment definitely down below, like what are some things that you would want to see me talk more about on my channel, whether it be relating to public health or relating to a specific job that can be incorporated into public health. Like, okay, for real. I hope you found this video very insightful and helpful. I hope you learned something new. And yeah, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in my next one. Mwah. Bye, my loves.